this is a horse. Well, it's not. It's a dog. He's called Pan. But the title of this video is Horsepower and how we can use it to understand workplace productivity in the age of AI. So perhaps rather than starting with a dog in my garden, we should instead be going back in history. The horse, nature's original powerhouse. Before engines roared and electricity buzzed, these magnificent beasts were the backbone of human progress. If we flash back to 1769 England, mine operators were regularly knee-deep in water, and they were using the power furnished by horses to pump that water from their flooded mines. Mine owners then naturally thought in the terms of the number of horses they needed to do a certain amount of pumping. So when James Watt burst onto the scene with his new invention, a mechanical substitute for the power of horses, he needed a way to flex on the competition. He defines the idea of horsepower, an instantly relatable concept for his target audience. But how do you measure and validate horsepower? Well, Watt and his colleague William Murdoch put horses through their paces, making them haul heavy stones from quarry pits under various conditions. The result? They discovered that your average workhorse could lift between 500 and 550 pounds 1 foot in 1 second, non-stop for a minute. So if you do the maths, you've got roughly 33,000 pounds moved 1 foot in that time. Boom! The unit of horsepower was born. Watt's horsepower unit became the gold standard for power measurement. Mine owners and entrepreneurs can now precisely calculate the mechanical muscle needed to replace their four-legged workforce. As society's hunger for energy grew, Watt's horsepower unit stuck around. It became the go-to measure for comparing and estimating power across the board, from steam engines to supercars. Horsepower remained the benchmark. Fast forward today, and while horses have largely swapped the mines for the stables, their legacy lives on in every engine and motor. The shift from muscle to machine has been nothing short of revolutionary, powering us into a future 1 horsepower at a time. And today we stand at the dawn of another transformative era, this time where artificial intelligence augments human capability. Here emerges a contemporary but relatable challenge. How do we measure productivity when machines and minds converge? In the workplaces of the future, will AI companies be highlighting units of staff power? If so, how could it look? Taking a leaf out of Watt's approach, we would need to encapsulate not just the individual productivity, but also the enhanced capabilities born of human-AI collaboration. So imagine if we were to quantify this synergy with a formula. It might look a little bit like this. Staff power, SP, equals human output plus AI enhancement divided by baseline output. So if we consider an analyst who traditionally generates 100 reports each week, with AI's assistant, they might be able to achieve 150, demonstrating an SP of 150. Or take a marketing strategist who's typically crafts 5 comprehensive campaign plans per month. With AI's assistant, they're now churning out 8 plans, or to equal superior quality. That's a staff power of 1.6, so 60% boost in productivity. So it's not just about doing more, it's also potentially about achieving more with what we've already got. This is of course just an exercise. For in capturing human productivity, we must acknowledge its rich diversity and creativity, elements not easily distilled into equation. Nor should we consider staff members as beasts of burden as the mine owners did of their horses. Nevertheless, it's an interesting thought. The agentic AI that we at Taste Labs are developing, like those of the big tech companies and university research teams from around the world, they are being targeted at taking on employee tasks. Ultimately, they could even take on the roles of employees as well. For many, this would be a dystopian future, but potentially it could also be considered an opportunity. Small mine owners in the 18th century were able to compete with much larger organizations only through technology. Perhaps the startups or entrepreneurs of the future will be able to do likewise, with the staff power accessible to them through AI. In the pursuit of progress, Watt's pioneering and marketing spirit beckons us. From the cities of horses to the cerebral dials of machines, we forge forward. This tale is not solely about measurement, but it's about understanding the journey from horsepower to staff power and conceivably what lies beyond.